Hey everybody, Joan Nielsen here. Yesterday Matt was in such a funk. He had a dream and it became reality to him, and he was really upset about it, and he couldn't do what he wanted to do in his life and all these different things. And it's really interesting because I then had a conversation with my daughter, who was talking about somebody else who had a dream and was being funny about it. And I thought to myself, how many times in my life have I had a dream that I didn't like, that I woke up in a bad mood. And I stayed in that bad mood all day. Now I don't. Now if I have a bad mood, if I have a bad dream and I wake up, I quickly start saying affirmations or listening to an audio or something that'll get me back into that love feeling that I just love to be in. So I thought about this with Matt, and yesterday I tried everything to get him into a good mood. He just kept coming back with more negative stuff, and then finally I just said, you know what, I'm going to go meditate. And then as I'm meditating, he of course comes into my room to tell me he's going to meditate. And before, I would have been really frustrated to be interrupted during my meditation, because my meditation is very important to me, and especially when you're just getting into it. It's, you're really relaxed, and then all of a sudden jarred right out of it is kind of, it's like irritating, right? I don't know a better word for it. But this time I just said, okay, go meditate then, and then went back and started over again and did my own meditation. And after he had gone and had that time to do his meditation or whatever he was doing in his room, I went outside and played with the kids after my meditation, and he came out and he hung out on the swing here and started watching us playing. And then Clarissa came out and we were playing, and then I had to go inside for a moment, and I could hear them. And Matt had got in on the playing and got himself back into a good mood and back into that happy feeling. And then the five of us all just played around here. Oh, and Ben, he got in on it too. All played around here, enjoying our moments. So a bad mood isn't something you need to stick with. You can figure out how to get rid of it in that moment. Sure, it may come back. I was watching a really cool movie I have to finish watching today. I'm joined the Hay House Summit, World Summit, and I just love it every year. This is the third year, I believe, that I've done this, and I just love it. And this year they have some really interesting movies that I definitely need to jump on and watch right away. And it is the emotion one that I'm talking about. I haven't finished watching it, but it's really interesting what they're talking about. And a lot of it I know because I've been working on my emotions and getting myself to a place where I want to be. So I know when my body acts up that something's going on. I've done something. I'm thinking about something, or a situation from my past has come up, and now I'm here, and here's the emotion to go along with it. Whatever it is, we're creating it as we go along. So it's a really interesting movie. And I really like that thought process. I really believe that our body tells us what we need to know. Whatever mood you're in, you don't have to stay in a negative mood. Figure out ways to bring it to a positive mood. One of the ways, like I said, is, for me, meditating. Meditating, exercise. Exercise really, really does it. And I don't mean just like a walk around the block. I mean really pushing yourself. Like when I'm upset, I know I need to go and walk as fast as I can, or run, to get myself, and it needs to be outside for me, because inside there's too much going on and distractions and everything. I need to get out by myself, and I need to get in nature, and I just need to burn it off. And I know that works for me. This is all an individual thing. What works for me may not work for you, so do what works for you, because that's the best. Another thing that works for me is writing. I need to write or type it out. And I could type it out. If I'm typing it on the computer, I'll type it, erase it, type it, erase it, type it, erase it, type it, erase it. And it's not that I'm not wanting to say that. It's I'm not wanting to say it that way. And I reword it every single time until I get it perfect for the way I want it to be, instead of the way I'm feeling it is right now at this moment, When we're frustrated, we get so frustrated. But if you're writing, handwriting, I've written it all out. I've written angry letters. I've written where I can, even if I'm not, I can get this right. Even if I can't, if I don't want to send it to anybody, I'll write an angry letter and then rip it up or burn it. Rip it up, throw it away, and burn it. Whichever way it is, right? Because it's so really amazing when you start... Oh, now my dog wants to come on. So I'm sitting on my swing. There's my dog who decided to join me. Hi, Pen. But it's totally up to you on changing your moods. So if you're helping someone who has a disability, how do you help them get to being in that better mood? Because you really don't want to be around someone who is negative if you're working on being positive, right? So this is what I do. I remind him he's responsible for himself. He needs to know that no matter what's going on in his life, no matter what he feels he's going on in his life, that he is responsible for him, and he needs to choose to change it. If he wants to be miserable and happy, or miserable and angry, that's up to him, but he needs to do it in his own room. Or if nobody's outside, he can go outside and maybe it will help him out. I get him to go do some writing, because writing always helps him. And find something that they really like. So if he's really in a downer mood, I'll get him to watch some cartoons. Maybe that'll help him. I'll get him to meditate if he wants to. But the one thing that I always say is go write your gratitudes. Because if you can get them to be grateful for something, they will stop feeling sorry for themselves. And I stood out here with Matt, and I named off things that he probably hadn't even thought of that he was grateful for. That he was grateful for his house, he was grateful for his own room, clean clothes that he doesn't even have to wash, his food that he gets every single day without worrying about it, his arms, legs, and head and body are all working fine, and a lot of us take these for granted. Usually we all have to cook for ourselves, and it was really interesting for me to watch the thought process. It doesn't happen all at once for Matt, but eventually he gets there, especially when he realized I was not going to have him be grumpy around me all day. Took time to himself, figured it out. And it's really interesting how fast negativity will spread. Let me tell you, yesterday was a good example. When Matt was being grumpy and miserable all day, the other ones pick up on it, the little ones, because they're so impressionable. And wow, so I had to get him back in his room so I could get my positive charm going again, because I love a positive, peaceful house. So it really is totally up to you, your emotions on your mood and how you're going to be and who you want to be. But it's so much fun being positive. So, I say so a lot. Today, if you meet somebody who's not positive, just give them a little bit of yours, because you're worth it. And if they decide they're not going to continue with the positive, do the best you can. If it's somebody with a disability that you're working with, do the very best you can, but surround yourself with love, knowing that this too will pass, and you can stay positive through it. And you're worth it. Make it an amazing day, everybody.